Hi guys, my dear intermediate students, MPC/BiPC NEET aspirants, IIT aspirants and CBSE students and parents. Grand welcome to SBMS Academy of JEENEET Physics. This is Mr. S.Bhanu Moorthy, Senior Physics Faculty Member in Hyderabad, having 30 years of teaching experience now. So, in the last video class number 1, sensational video class number 1, we discussed about kinematics, some gunshot concepts which we are expecting in NEET as well as IIT entrance examinations. My dear students, now this is a sensational video class number 2, kinematics part 2, that is projectile motion. We are discussing now some important concepts which we are expecting. Okay, so I hope this video class is maximum helpful to all NEET students and IIT students. Okay, and now let us start quickly. Now this is projectile motion. Okay, the body is thrown into A, it follows parabolic path with some velocity vector making some angle theta other than 90 degrees. Then it is u cos theta, velocity resolves into two components, this is u sin theta. Okay, now this is initial velocity vector after t seconds. After t seconds from here to here, velocity vector. It is resolved into two components again, so this is u cos theta again. Okay, it is also called as v cos alpha, where alpha is the direction of velocity with x-axis. Because after t seconds, direction of velocity it is with respect to x-axis, that is alpha. So tan alpha, that is v cos alpha, is the horizontal component after t seconds. But of course, horizontal velocity remains constant everywhere. You know that point. In the case of projectile motion, horizontal velocity is independent of time factor, that is always constant. So acceleration along x-axis direction is 0. Right. So u cos theta is equal to v cos alpha. You can select any one formula. Okay. So you can select somewhere according to the situation. U cos theta equals to v cos alpha. You can get if theta is the angle of projection, whereas theta is the angle of projection, alpha is the direction of velocity after t seconds. You see, you observe the difference between the pronunciation. Angle of projection it is and direction of velocity with x-axis. Okay. Now, if your initial velocity is given, we can find out velocity after t seconds sometimes. Okay. Now, so this is horizontal velocity. Vertical velocity is u sin theta minus gt. U sin theta minus gt. According to first equation of motion, we can select that formula. At the highest point, once it reaches the highest point, it has only one velocity component, that is u cos theta. Horizontal velocity does not change everywhere. Once it reaches the ground, it's a vertical velocity component minus u sin theta, because it is upward velocity is positive, downward velocity is negative. The velocity with which it is thrown upwards vertically equals to the velocity with which it is falling down. Okay, my dear students, I think you understood. Now horizontal velocity is always constant, u cos theta. So in the horizontal direction, there is no change in the velocity, acceleration is 0 along x-axis. So acceleration takes place only on y-axis, okay, vertical under motion, okay, motion under gravity, that is, okay. So my dear students, initial velocity vector u cos theta into I bar plus u sin theta into j bar. This is initial velocity vector. But velocity after t seconds, velocity vector after t seconds, u cos theta does not change, plus u sin theta minus gt into j bar. This is horizontal vertical velocity components. So we can write the vector notation of initial and final velocities. Now based on this concept, now we can frame one question which is very important for NEET entrance as well as IIT mains entrance examination. Now what is that question? A body is thrown with velocity, example I am giving, a body is thrown with velocity 20 meters per second from the ground into air. Okay, by making an angle theta 60 degrees or by making an angle 30 degrees with vertical given there. With vertical means angle 30 degrees with vertical in the sense theta equals to 90 minus 30, that is 60 degrees. They may confuse you like this. Okay, so angle of projection is always with x-axis. They will confuse us by giving with vertical. Okay, then we can select it. Suppose if this angle is 30 degrees, then I want this one. So theta equals to 60 degrees, right? Now, by making an angle theta equals to 60 degrees, it is thrown into A. Then, after what time its velocity vector is perpendicular to initial velocity vector? Means this is the diagram. After what velocity vector After what time? This is the question mark. Its velocity vector v bar is perpendicular to the initial velocity vector. If it is extended backward, this angle is 90 degrees. So question is, the velocity of projection is given, angle of projection is given. After what time its velocity vector is perpendicular to initial velocity vector? That is a question. Okay. So options may be gu sin theta by g, then 2u sin theta by g, then third one is u by g sin theta, and the fourth one is 2u by g sin theta. So my dear NEET aspirants, IIT aspirants, this is a method of explanation from this academy. Now we can discuss easily now. What is the concept involved here? Gunshot concept. So if any two vectors are perpendicular, their dot product is 0. Okay. So u bar dot v bar equals to 0. Some dot product means I dot product is u cos theta into u cos theta, that is u square cos square theta, plus j bar dot j bar. Okay, dot product of these two, product of these two. So u sin theta into u sin theta minus gt. Okay, so that should be equals to 0, right? U square cos square theta plus u square sin square theta equals to 1, you know. So that is u square common minus u sin theta into gt, that equals to 0. So minus goes that side. I am writing this side. Okay, I am writing this side. So u square equals to, what happens now? U sin theta gt, u sin theta into gt, one u gets cancelled, then finally equals to u by g sin theta. So my dear NEET aspirants, IIT aspirants, this is the formula. So option number 3, u by g sin theta. So whenever the body is projected with some velocity by making some angle with ground, after what time interval the velocity vector is perpendicular to the right angles to the initial velocity vector. Okay, normal by right angle, perpendicular, whatever it may be. So this is question number 1. Second bit I am giving now. Such type of 3-4 concepts in this video class let us give based on projectile, which are very important gunshot questions only I will give to you now. Like that, nearly 40-50 applications and gunshot concepts will be there. If you join in the institution, you can discuss each and every one with me, right? So under this condition, so what is the velocity at the highest point? So velocity at highest point I want, highest point. Okay, so option number 1, so that is u cos theta. Answer directly I am writing. So u cos theta velocity, u means 20, cos 60, that is 1 by 2, 20 into 1 by 2, that is 10. So this is the velocity after, that is at the highest point velocity, u cos theta. This is the formula, velocity at the highest point. So if values are given, you can find out anyone. Unless you know the formula, you can't solve the problems, right? Okay, let us move to third concept quickly. The third concept is torque formula. What is the torque of a projectile at the highest point? Torque at the highest point. Torque at highest point of projection. Torque at the highest point, how can you calculate now? So this is the formula diagram. So this is the highest point. So where velocity is u cos theta, and torque about this point. Torque about point of projection we want. Okay. So torque means what? Force into perpendicular distance. Very simple formula. Force into perpendicular distance. Force at this point is F equal to mg. For a projectile, only one force is there, gravitational force, always vertically down. So you should know this point. Very important sentence. So for a projectile, the force experienced by the body is only under gravity, that is mg. Right. Mg into perpendicular distance from this force means it is extended forward. A vector can be extended, can be placed anywhere without changing the direction. You know that sentence? Okay. So this is the formula. This is r by 2, half of the range. Range, time of flight, maximum height. You know all those fundamental equations. Right. Now concepts I am giving, gunshot concepts in that which we are expecting in the entrance examinations. So force into perpendicular distance. Force means mg into perpendicular distance means r by 2. So this is formula mg r by 2. But r value you know, u square sine 2 theta by g. You can substitute there. Tau equals to mg by 2 into u square sine 2 theta by g. G gets cancelled. Half mu square sine 2 theta. This is the torque formula. So whereas sine 2 theta value 2 sine theta cos theta, wherever required you can select that formula also, right? So this is concept number 3, very important. We can expect this one also. Torque experienced by the projectile at the highest point, okay? But torque experienced at the final point I want, not highest point, the final point. Final point in the sense, you see, this is the final point, okay? So at this point, what is the formula for torque? So final point, gravitational force F equals to mg again. Everywhere it is mg vertically down, and the distance this time is capital R. Force into perpendicular distance. So mg into capital R. This is the torque at the final point. So torque at the final point mg into u square sine 2 theta by g. Then g gets cancelled. So mu square sine 2 theta. At the highest point, at the final point. So my dear students, torque information we got it now. So we can expect definitely torque information in NEET entrance as well as IIT mains entrance examination. Now let us discuss how to find out the angular momentum of projectile at the highest, at the final point. Angular momentum. Angular momentum means, suppose when the projectile is thrown like this, so angular momentum at this point about point O. Angular momentum means this is momentum minus mu sine theta, because downward velocities are negative, you know. So downward momentum is negative. So minus mu sine theta into perpendicular distance is what is that? This is r. Okay. So momentum into perpendicular distance. Angular momentum into momentum, linear momentum into at that point into perpendicular distance. Okay, momentum means what here? Minus mu sine theta, and perpendicular distance is what here? Into r. Okay, so L is equals to L bar equals to minus, this is now what here? Momentum vector is minus j bar it is, and the perpendicular distance is I bar. Okay, perpendicular distance I bar. So minus j bar into I bar is nothing but minus k bar. Okay, so minus gets cancelled now. Minus k bar here. So mu sine theta into u square sine 2 theta by g. Okay, so mu cube sine theta and sine 2 theta over g. So this is angular momentum, this is minus k bar direction of angular momentum. So according to triangle of vectors, if any two vectors are in the same direction, so same orientation, resultant vector taken in the reverse direction. Okay, so if the first two vectors are taken in anti-clockwise direction, the angular momentum upward. If the first two vectors are taken in the clockwise direction, angular momentum is downwards. Okay, so this is the representation of angular momentum of a projectile at the final point. Okay, so after this, radius vector, how to find out radius vector of the projectile. Okay, so these are the points, gunshot questions and concepts I am discussing now. So in this video class, with the help of these, I think every student can get maximum benefit in their respective entrance examinations, NEET as well as IIT. So radius of curvature now of a projectile. What is that? Radius of curvature means this is a projectile path. So this is the velocity with which it is thrown. This is an angle theta given. Okay. Now it is extended like this. We get a curve. Circle. So this is the center of the circle. Okay. This is center of the circle. Now this is a point of projection. And from the point of projection to the center of the circle, this radius vector is represented by radius of curvature. It is a radius of a circle from which a parabolic path forms a part. It is nothing but radius of curvature of a projectile. It is a radius of a circle from which a parabolic path forms a part. Okay, so this is radius of curvature. How to find out this one? So this is actually weight of the projectile is mg. Everywhere I know already I discussed the gravitational force at any point is vertically downwards, and this angle is theta because it is 90 minus theta. Okay, theta 90 minus theta and again theta, and this is mg cos theta because adjacent to this angle is mg cos theta. The component of gravitational force is towards the center now. Okay, the component of gravitational force provides necessary centripetal force. The component of gravitational force, its component, provides necessary centripetal force. That is the concept involved here. This academy is particularly exclusively conceptual oriented coaching center. Okay, so meritorious students can get maximum benefit. Even average students also can be cherished in this academy, right? Okay, the component of gravitational force balances with centripetal force. Component of means mg cos theta balances with what? Centripetal force. What is centripetal force here? mv square by r. mu square by r, because velocity of projection is used given there now. mv square by r is the radius of curvature, radius of the circle. So you see here, this is the u velocity direction is tangent direction. So tangent direction is perpendicular to radius vector, you know. So that's why these two are perpendicular. If it is theta, it becomes 90 minus theta, you know. So theta 90 minus theta, automatically it becomes theta because these two are perpendicular. So according to geometry, I selected the angles now. That's why it is becoming mg cos theta. Mg cos theta balances with what? Centripetal force. So mm gets cancelled, then you will get what? Radius of curvature. Radius of curvature equals to u square by g cos theta. My dear NEET aspirants and IIT aspirants, it is also the most gunshot concept in entrance examination. Okay, so these are the sensational video classes, my dear students, because you cannot hear such type of explanation from any YouTube channel. Okay, so this is all our experience in teaching. I have 30 years of teaching experience. That's why we can easily derive each and every conceptual models, so that you can gain the maximum marks in entrance examination with the help of these conceptual models. Okay, so my dear students, if you are interested to join in this institution, okay, please go through my numbers. Yesterday in the first video class, sensational video class, I have given the numbers, 4 numbers, and I have YouTube channel also. Already I opened YouTube channel. I released some video classes. Then you go through all those video classes. Okay, so every day from yesterday onwards, I am releasing video classes, sensational video classes. Regularly, frequently, almost all every day. So keep on watching my video classes, then you decide whether to join in this institution or not. Okay, so wishing you all the best, my dear NEET aspirants and IIT aspirants. Bye, see you in the next video class.